Is it all right
Yep.
with the lights on there?
Yeah, I asked him.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, my name's Tom Walker. I'm a detective with the Knox County Sheriff's Office. I've been here for a little over 24 years now. And my specialty is on street gangs and sovereign citizens, which we kind of classify in the same area. Sovereign citizens, what are we looking at? To give you a pretty recent case on that, the gentleman that was the Waffle House shooter in Nashville is an admitted sovereign citizen. He also had white supremacy leanings, and that they think, now without knowing all the details, they think that's why he chose the target he did. It was a Waffle House. It was in a mostly African American community, and the sovereign citizen beliefs, and then also the white supremacy beliefs. They believe the reasoning for the targeting of the installation. So, sovereign citizens, you never know how they're going to react. They are mostly an anti-government group, and they will target anybody they see as a threat to their way of belief or livelihood. And I'm trying to get the flipper here to work again. So
Where do I?
there we go. Okay. Did you get the button?
Yeah, I did it.
Okay. If you wouldn't mind hitting it again. All right. Sovereign citizens, like I said, they're anti-government. They believe they don't have to pay taxes. They are strict constitutionalists. And what I mean by saying that is they don't believe in law enforcement having any authority over them. In the original Constitution and the Bill of Rights, the only law enforcement agency that's mentioned is the county sheriffs and his duly elected deputies. So the sheriff's department is the only recognized law enforcement in the Constitution. State police, federal agents, city police officers are all added as amendments afterwards. So the sovereign citizens groups will actually tell these officers that you're illegitimate, you don't have any authority over me, you have no law enforcement practices or anything else. They claim to follow God's law, and they'll try and disguise sovereign citizen membership as a religion, and they'll bring in different philosophies, quoting quotes from the Bible and then also from the Constitution, and try and make they put up a pretty good argument. And like taxes, the original Constitution and the Revolutionary War were fought over unfair taxes. That's why they believe they don't have to have a license, because they see that as a tax. I am a free citizen of the United States. My tax dollars built the roads. Why do I have to have a driver's license or pay for the privilege of having a driver's license? It's just another unfair tax. Same with the license plates on your vehicle. It's another unfair tax. We never had to have those in the horse-drawn carriages, so why do we have to have them for vehicles now? That's their whole argument and philosophy. I'm afraid this clicker isn't going to work again. I apologize. This is one of their favorite stickers, and this is what we tell our officers, be observant of what's around you. They'll put these stickers on their cars, also on their front doors or the gates of their houses. Most of them have their property fenced off of some type. And you'll see this sovereign authority. The Title IV flag is this flag I have here on the table. I actually took that off a sovereign citizen. And this is what they believe the United States flag should look like. Is this with stripes going up and down instead of side to side, and it's a white field with blue stars instead of a blue field with white stars. They claim that the flag that we see as the United States flag is a war flag. So that if a judge in a courtroom flies the American flag in his courtroom and it has a gold fringe on it, those two little gold tassels, that is a military flag. Thus, the court is a military tribunal. And they will say, I am now a prisoner of war, and I want the same rights under the Hague. So, and they'll try and argue with the judge that he has no authority over because they're not in the military and he's not a prisoner of war. So, the military tribunal has no authority over him in court. And that usually doesn't go over real well, and then get held in contempt and all that kind of good stuff. But if you see this sticker, or anything that says, all rights reserved under UCC 1308 or 1207 or 1203, UCC stands for Uniform Commercial Code, and those laws were written States. So they're hanging their hat on, I don't have to have a license because I'm not traveling for commercial purposes. All right? I am not taking items from city A to city B to sell. So that would be a commercial adventure. I am just, as a private citizen, driving my private vehicle on a private road, and I'm going from A to B for my own pleasure. I'm not traveling for commercial purposes. Under the UCC code, it means I don't have to have a license. And that's what they try and argue in court. You go hit it again.
Did they ever win?
No, not usually. But it's an argument you get to listen to. Sovereign Citizens Movement, very loosely organized. Some groups, they have a leader, they have meetings. Other are just individuals that learn about it on the internet, and they decide, that's what I want to believe, and now I don't have to make my house payment, and I've got the straw man account. If you ever hear or talk about their straw man account, this is where they believe that the day they're born, the U.S. government actually opens a secret bank account, and they deposit what they think your net worth will be over your lifetime earnings. And that could be anywhere from $5 million to $20 million. So every one of them think they're worth $20 million. So what they'll talk about is when they get their house payment, they'll fill out all those paperwork, like 50 forms they got to fill out to be a sovereign. They'll mail it to the President of the United States, to every single cabinet member, the Pentagon, Secretary of State, all the way down to the governor, and then through the state government, and then through your local government, your county mayor, and your sheriff, proclaiming that they are no longer a citizen of the United States, thus do not have to pay taxes. And that they are now going to open up their secret straw man account and pay off all their bills. So when they don't make a house payment and the bank sends them that notice, hey, final foreclosure, we're going to seize your house if you don't pay us, they will literally write on the bill, pay in full, straw man account, and they'll put their Social Security number on it. Draw from this account. They think your Social Security number is your secret bank account. And they say, if not contested within 10 business days, this bill is deemed satisfied.
Wow.
And they'll mail it back to the bank. Well, in 10 business days, in their mind, they haven't contested it, so my house is paid for. It's free and clear now. It's mine, because it pays for my secret straw man account that the government has and started when I was born. And the banks are really having to deal with this. Now, where we come involved, the sheriff's office, and I'll show you in the second presentation, what happens is these people, we had one that didn't make a house payment for a year and a half. And the bank kept sending them notices, trying to make him pay and everything else. And they really didn't want to try and foreclose on this guy. But when they finally did, the sheriff's office, we are regulated by state law that if somebody's going to be forcibly removed from their house, in other words, evicted, the sheriff's office, it has to do it by state law. And we have to come in and evict these people. So the first taste that they get of reality is when we go in and move them out of their house and move all their property out into the street. And, the bank comes in and sees the house, they put new locks on it, put grates up and everything else so they can't get back in the house. And that's when the reality really hits them. Where we're coming up with a scam is a lot of these sovereign citizens, the ones that travel around and say, if you come to my class, I'll teach you how to be a sovereign. They will tell these people, I will take care of your bills. We have one guy, he's an Indian, and he claims that if you join his tribe, that you are now an Indian, and under the Treaty of 1795, under the Cherokee Treaty Law, if you join my tribe, you're now an Indian. It doesn't matter what color, creed, where you came from, or anything else. He will bless you to be a member of his tribe unless you are an Indian, and you no longer have to pay taxes to the federal government, based on this treaty back from 1795. So that means you don't have to pay a house bill, you donate it to him. In other words, these people are signing over their houses to this guy because he's an Indian, and he could say, I don't have to pay because I own this property. I own, and he's claiming most of East Tennessee, northern Alabama, northern Georgia, western South Carolina, and western North Carolina as the traditional Cherokee territory from 1795. And thus, this whole property belongs to the Cherokees. He's just allowing us to live here on his own good graces. But if you join his tribe, all your property is now tax exempt and nobody can take it away from you, as long as you sign it over to him. Well, what he was doing was, these people would sign over their house to him. Here's my property, here's my car, here's my bank account, everything no longer can be seized because it now belongs to the tribe. And then he would, mortgage it to the hilt. He'd take out secondary loans on everything. And then these people, when they get these mortgage notices, says, hey, you owe us, 3 months back, pay on your house, they'd send it to this guy, he goes, oh, don't worry about it, they just don't understand it yet, I'll take care of it. And then the county was sending them, hey, you haven't paid your taxes in 2 years. You were getting ready to seize your property. And they'd mail this stuff to this guy, and he goes, oh yeah, don't worry about it, I'll take care of it. Right up till the time the sheriff's office comes and knocks on their door and moves them out in the street. Then reality is, they've been scammed. Good deal. All right, they believe that all government is illegitimate unless they're drawing a check. Social Security, military veterans, whatever. They'll take all the money the government will give them, but when it comes time to pay their taxes, now the government's illegitimate, and now I'm not going to pay my taxes or pay my driver's license or my tags on my car or whatever. So take whatever they can get, but they don't want to put anything back into the system, is the general idea. They don't believe that they have to do anything the government says, that as long as they file all this paperwork I was telling you about, from the president all the way down to the local sheriff, that absolves them. They are no longer a citizen of the United States, and thus they don't have to follow any of the laws of the United States. Okay. All right, they will use tactics, it's called paper terrorism, and what they'll do is, and I've been sued 9 times, we'll go and make a traffic stop on expired tags. Okay, I walk up, can I see your driver's license? I don't have to have a driver's license. I am a sovereign citizen. Here's all my paperwork. They only roll the window down a couple inches, and they'll talk to you through that little couple inches. And they'll argue with you. Well, if you write them a ticket for no driver's license, no tag on your car, and they actually sign it, and will accept the ticket, what they'll do is they'll then sue you. They'll find out where you live as an officer, because it's in the tax records. They'll find out where you live, and they'll put a lien against your house that you'll never know was there until you try to refinance or try and sell your house. So they'll do it with your car. And then you try and sell your house during the title search, it comes up, well, you got this mechanic's lien by the sovereign citizen who says you owe him $50 million for a violation of his civil rights. And that was a problem for a while. Tennessee enacted a law back in 2010 that said that is illegal. You cannot do that in the state of Tennessee anymore. It used to be a Class A misdemeanor, same thing as a DUI. Well, apparently what happened is one of these guys did it to one of the legislature, did the governor and a couple other higher up in the state government. Now they've made it a felony to do it. So it's since 2014 it's a felony to file a fraudulent lawsuit or lien for revenge on a public official. So we've got that working for us now. If you go to the button here. This is Mr. Arthur Young. He lives up in Seville, and this is his radio station. And it's inside this little barn area, and this wire goes up to his TV antenna, and he would broadcast. It's a pirated radio station. He just set up a radio station, doesn't have a license to do anything from the FCC or anything else, and he broadcasts stuff on how to be a sovereign citizen. Now, he's also a white supremacist, so he does a lot of white supremacist stuff on the radio station. It's not very powerful. It's probably like about a 60-watt radio station, so it only goes out a couple of miles, but it affects most of this valley up in Mares Valley in Seville. We went up and seized his radio station 3 times, and what he does when the FCC comes up, it is not a criminal offense to run a pirated radio station. It's a civil matter. So when the FCC comes up and goes, hey, we need you to stop broadcasting because you don't have a license, and he does it anyway, then the FCC does what's called a civil seizure. And they go through court and say, hey, look, this guy's broadcasting without a license. It's illegal under federal law, such and such. And the judge signs off on it and goes, okay, go seize his stuff. So we go onto his property, and we take all his radio equipment, and the last time we ended up cutting down his 60-foot tower. Because you can just go out and buy more radio equipment and just hook it right back up. So when we cut down his tower, it kind of took a little more effort to get it back up again. But he's actually done this 4 times now. Go ahead.
Is he operational now?
He is operational now.
Wow.
Yeah, he just goes back and forth, and what he does, he gets on the, once we seize everything, go ahead, you'll hit it again, it'll come up with more stuff.
Okay.
Once we seize it, he'll go on the internet and start telling you about how the fascist government has now seized my radio station, keeps me from telling you the truth, and yada, 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 and beg for money. And people from all over the country will send donations, and he'll go out and buy 2014 is when I first became involved in all this. We seized his radio stuff 4 times at that point. And he's back up and running again. I mean, he just does it constantly. He's got a sign on his property that says if we come onto his property, he's going to fine us 10,000 US gold dollars, whatever those are. Nobody really knows what those are, but he'll send us a notice that for every hour we're on his property, we owe him 10,000 US gold dollars. So, we can't pay him because we don't know what that is. But he's tried to sue us a couple of times, and it just doesn't work out for him. Okay. During traffic stops, and where you guys will come into this, because you guys will be doing scanning, we want you to look at the bumper stickers, and we want you to look at signs in the yard. Before you actually go into a place, it doesn't mean the person that you're going to see is a sovereign, but it's family members might be, or neighbors, or something like that. So we want you to be observant of what's around you before you go into a neighborhood. But bumper stickers with any government slogans, or upside down American flags, state militia groups, say the Pennsylvania militia. There is no such thing as a militia in the United States anymore. Okay, that was all done away with. Back in the Revolutionary days, we have National Guard, we have reserves, we have military, we have police forces, stuff like that. When you see a state militia sticker, it means they started their own military militia, and it's usually an in-government group. White supremacy are really big in the sovereign citizen movement. Now, it doesn't mean we don't have all races. Now, we have African American, we have Asian, we have Hispanic, we have mostly white that are involved in sovereign citizen, but all races will get into it. But mostly the white supremacist groups tend to migrate towards the sovereign citizen beliefs. Some of the stickers you might see, this is during the Obama administration up here. It could be during the Bush or during the Trump administration, depending on what your political views are, one way or the other. But they'll change the email address depending on which political candidate. Now, they don't like any presidential candidates, all right, because it makes them follow the federal laws. So they'll just switch it depending on who's president at the time. These different websites here, this is another bumper sticker we found. You can actually go to these sites and learn about them. This one's actually where you can order a book on sovereign citizenship. And they'll send it to you by the mail. Now, it's okay to go and research. You're not going to get put on some secret government list, okay? That's not the way this thing works. You can go and research it. I go on and research it all the time to see what new trends are coming up with. I've never had a problem with it. There are really no Trojans or viruses on it because they want you to learn. So they're going to keep their site pretty clean and pretty secure. And as far as the government's concerned, all right, I'm assigned for the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force here in Knoxville, and I can tell you, I don't care what all the conspiracy theorists say. Does anybody know how many text messages and emails go out a day in just the state of Tennessee, much less the entire country? Hundreds of millions. There's only 37,000 full-time FBI agents from the director on down. Do you think we really have time to look at all the stuff? That's just in Tennessee, not counting the rest of the country. Right? That whole garbage, that lower monitoring, it's a hit list. If you get on this, your IP address gets hit on, and they start monitoring your email. I'm telling you, it doesn't happen. There's no way it can happen. It's totally reactionary. Yes.
Do we file a report or something if we see these?
If you would. If you see it, do not confront them. Don't try and talk to them. Again, you guys are not armed. You're there for a very specific purpose. Take care of the elderly people that need, people to visit them, take care of them. You see stuff like this, just take mental notes. If you can, take a picture. If you can't, without endangering your safety, do not. It's not worth it. Okay? Just tell us what car it's on, what address you saw it at, and then report it to us, and we'll take care of it from there. Okay? So you're observation and reporting only. Do not try and get out and talk, or because these people will not make sense to you. They just don't. They have a whole different theory of life. The Republic of Texas, that's another one. It's kind of like that militia group. But the Republic of Texas is a sovereign citizen group. They followed the Posse Comitatus back in the 1970s. That's where they originally got started. And this is that war flag I was telling you about. There's the United States flag that we recognize is considered a war flag, and the sovereign citizen flag is called their peace flag because they are not at war with anybody. So these are two bumper stickers you'll also see. The upside down American flag, any former military? Yeah. What's an upside down American flag mean?
Stress.
Yeah, duress. Yeah, we're under duress. So they'll fly it upside down because they're saying the United States is under duress, the government's oppressing us and all that kind of stuff. Sovereign authority. These people are the ones that will go out and they'll film you while you're doing your job. Now you guys are going to be driving around in a marked scan card, correct? Is that good? They are not going to differentiate you from anybody else. Okay, it says Knox County Sheriff on the side, scan unit, and you're going to be wearing a uniform. You'll be white instead of blue, but they are not going to know the difference. They are just going to assume you are officers. And do not be surprised if they get out and start filming you. You know, they'll get out with a video camera, they'll start trying to engage you, trying to get in an argument and everything else, just so they can videotape it and put it on YouTube later. So what we're telling everybody, you know, unless you're a police officer, don't engage these people. You're not going to get anything out of it. You're not going to change their minds. You're not going to be able to reason with them. Just tell them, we are here as a scan unit. Scan stands for, you know, what scan stands for, and I am here to visit this elderly person to make sure they are okay. That is my entire function. I am not here to arrest anybody. I am here to check to make sure the elderly are being taken care of. And if they don't like that, then you know, just ignore them and go do what you guys do. If they start getting combative, please get on the radio and notify so we can get an officer to you. But, you know, they might do something stupid in front of your car trying to get you to pull them over. I know you guys don't have lights on the car, and you go down and initiate traffic stops or anything else. If they try and stop in front of you, get on the radio and let us know what's happening because you never know how these people are going to react. Sovereigns, they look for the confrontation, and it can be anything from, I just want to voice my opinion, all the way up to gunshots. You don't know how they're going to react versus like that Waffle House guy.
Yeah.
He wanted to voice his opinion, and it happened to be with a rifle. You know, others they just want to argue and try and get you on videotape arguing. That's all they're looking for. Okay. Some of the signs you'll see, and I've got several displays up here on the table. You'll see this warning, trespassing. You'll see something that looks like official government code down here, and then usually a fine. Pina Nation or Cherokee Country are two Indian groups that have started up, and it will tell you that if you belong to my tribe, the Pina Nation or Turtle Island or Cherokee Country, that if you join my tribe, you don't have to pay taxes. And those are basically scams. They're making you sign over everything and then, you know, making you believe you don't have to pay any taxes or even make your house payment anymore. But if you see any of these signs on these properties, don't even go on the property, all right? Call us, report it, tell us what's happening. Of course, notify the scan staff, you know, so they know what's going on. And if we have to, we'll get you a police officer there to escort you in to make sure that the person you're there to check on is good. And what we've found in the past is some of the elderly people, they've either passed away and we don't know about it, and you guys walk into somebody else's house that the person doesn't live there anymore. So, you know, like I said, don't risk it. You know, I know you guys want to go in and check on the person you're supposed to check on, but there might be a chance that you're not living there anymore. And you know, might have gone to a nursing home and the family members might have moved into the house, and you're just dealing with a total different person than what you're there expecting to see. Okay. This is Mr. James McBride. He is the head guy for the Divine Providence. It is a sovereign citizen group that started here in Knoxville. And what he did was, he came up with a Divine Providence country. And he claims that he's the Postmaster General of this country. And if you join him, he is a private country unto his own, even though he lives in Ohio, and he comes down here to Knoxville. And he holds his seminars, which is a 3-day seminar, for $450 from Friday to Sunday. You can be at the Mandarin House over here at one of the little private meeting rooms. Lunch is included. And he'll teach you everything you need to know to be a part of his Divine Providence Sovereign Movement. And once you graduate that Sunday, after you've gone through your 3-day course, he will issue you some kind of an ID, a government ID, giving you whatever your job is. And it's usually ambassador to the Divine Providence, a fake driver's license with your picture on it, and a fake registration for your car, and tell you you do not have to pay the taxes anymore. Because you are now a part of his country, you are no longer a private citizen of the United States. this little key here is a couple inches long, and this actually came from the Vatican. And what happened was he made up this folder and called it his Constitution for Divine Providence. And it's very elaborate. I think I got a picture of it in here. It's leather bound, it's about this big, and it's got ribbons on it. It looks all official. He actually puts his blood thumbprint on it to sign it because they don't sign their name. They put a bloody thumbprint on it. And he sent it to the Vatican. Well, anytime you send something to the Vatican, they will send you one of these little statue things. It's only about 3 inches tall. And a letter saying, hey, thank you for whatever this is you sent us, and we're just acknowledging we got it. His claim is that the Vatican is a country unto its own. And even though it's in Italy, it's 6 blocks long, it is actually a country. The Vatican is a country. So he's saying another country has recognized my Constitution as an independent country. Here's the key where they sent me their symbol saying that they recognize my country. And he will show this to everybody, including the letter, and then, he tries to legitimize himself at that point. You go ahead again. This is that leather-bound folder I was telling you about. It's got a couple of pages on it. It's got the picture of the Vatican symbols they sent. He goes to Office Depot and gets some of those little wax sticks. If you melt them, that's how they used to seal envelopes. The bottom of this thing is actually a stamp. That's what it was made for. So he melts wax and then uses the bottom of this to put the Vatican stamp on it, along the little tassels you can buy at Office Depot, and proclaims that this is now my Constitution, and it's recognized by the Vatican. Go ahead. And when you open it up, here's all his rules. He puts some ribbon on it, some little gold stickers. And this is where he put his bloody thumbprint on it to officially sign it in blood that he is a country unto his own. And like I said, he mailed it to the Vatican, and then when they recognized it, he decided, I'll take it a step further. He mails another one just like this to the UN. And the UN sends him a letter back, thank you for whatever this is, we're acknowledging receipt of it. So now he claims not only is he recognized by the Vatican, but he's also recognized by the UN. And this is how he convinces people that he's legitimate, and that if they really join his organization, they never have to pay taxes again. These are the license plates that were on his car. This is totally fake. You can buy these tags, these metal plates, off the internet. You can get them like at 100 in a box, and they're flat. They're not stamped like a real license plate. But what he does, he goes and gets a high-dollar laminate printer, and then he makes up his own license plate. So he prints them to the same size, and then he just pastes it onto this metal tag, and it looks, if you don't know what it is, it looks like a legitimate license plate. And this is the one he had on the back of his car that he drove all over the United States on. Now, if you run it, it comes back not on file because there's no such thing. But he claims that his vehicle is an embassy vehicle. He's an embassy diplomat for the divine province of the sovereign citizen, and that is an embassy plate, thus he has immunity. You cannot stop him, you cannot search his vehicle, you cannot require him to show your license and everything else. Well, a lot of the officers, back when the sovereign citizen movement first started, they didn't know. They'd never heard of this before. All they know is he's got an embassy plate, he's got an embassy ID, claims to have, so am I really going to argue with this guy over a ticket? He's claiming he's going to sue me in federal court. Yeah, I'll just let it go. And he drove all over the country playing this game. Until he came to Knoxville, we said, no, we're not playing that game, we seized everything. And then we put him in jail. This is his embassy flag. This flag is actually in South Carolina, and everything else from now on, all the rest of the pictures, are in South Carolina. He went over there and tried to sovereign stuff over there. Well, South Carolina has a really good sovereign citizen law. Their law is if you file one piece of fake paperwork in their court, it's punishable by a year in jail. So when he filed his sovereign citizen stuff saying, hey, look, you can't tax me, in there, it was 5 pages long, and they put him 5 years in prison for filing 5 pieces of paper illegally in their court that was sovereign stuff. So they seized all this stuff from his little conference, and they got his flag. Well, my partner and I went over to South Carolina to take pictures of it because we still have a case going on here in Knoxville. You go ahead again. All right. Now, this is where I got a problem with our post office. He went to Office Depot, and even misspelled his name. It's supposed to be James, and you don't spell James with an E in between the A and the M. James Thomas McBride, Office of the Postmaster General. Authentic copy, original. Our U.S. Post Office has an agreement with any other Postmaster General of any other state, city, or whatever. If it's a Postmaster General and he stamps it Postmaster General, they will mail whatever he has for free through the federal mail system. So he literally was sending out thousands and thousands of letters and packages and everything else after he bought this $10 stamp at Office Depot claiming to be the Postmaster General, and he stamped every one of his letters and just mailed them for free all over the United States.
Wow.
He made us fake IDs and found this book and it had all the IDs, and you can get this from AAA. You can order it online. It's got pictures of every state's IDs and driver's licenses. And what he did, if you go and hit it again, he went to started making fake license plates, fake driver's license, and fake government IDs after he bought equipment from our own surplus sales from the state of Tennessee. So when the driver's license machines, that they make our driver's license with at the headquarters of THP, when those machines started getting old, they put them in surplus and then they sell them. He went and bought one at the surplus store and started making his own driver's license. Go ahead. Different license plates you might see. This U.S. Constitution one, that was made out of plastic. And of course, in the southern weather and humidity, they only lasted about a year before they started fading and warping. And that's when we decided to go to the metal ones. And the metal ones hold up a little better. If you go ahead and this guy was in Knoxville with a cardboard tag. He took a black magic marker, made up his own number, and thought that would get him by. Well, this is off my car camera, and I ended up pulling him over. And he claimed to be a sovereign citizen, and that was a proper tag because that was the number he assigned to his vehicle for his own little country. He ended up going to jail because he didn't want to sign my ticket, didn't have a license or anything else, and the car went to the car jail. But just some of the people you might see rolling around here, you just never know what's in front of you. Cherokee Country guy, remember I was telling you about him? This is his wife's car. This is his own private tag that he made using one of those machines I was telling you about. His is GOB001 because he's the chief. His wife is GOB002. And this was up in Sevierville. I took my wife up to Sevierville to go shopping one day. And just after we walked through the park, I'm going, hey, I know that tag. Because I got her husband's tag in my impound. So, he had it bolted on. So when we arrested him here in Knoxville for driving his car on that fake tag, I had to take a crowbar and pry his 001 off of his car. So it's our evidence locker right now. But his wife was driving around the 002 up in Sevierville. And it was at a grocery store there. And, I thought it was funny. I took a picture of it, just so I could say, hey, look, I found his wife's car up here. But, she's still driving around on that tag, and it's fake. Fake as can be. This gentleman, Hollis Summers, he's a two-time convicted sex offender, and he's parked in a handicap, and we're at Union County. He had to report to Union County as a sex offender, and they called us over there to help deal with him. And what he did was, he got tired of us putting him in jail every time because he used to have a fake tag on his car. So what he did, he decided to pay the extra $30 to get that van tag. And he went and got UCC 1308, that sovereign citizen UCC code, and put it on a legitimate Tennessee tag. Just, kind of as a, thumb on the end of the nose, like, okay, now stop me, because I got a legitimate tag, but I'm still going to tell you I'm assaulted. He's parked, like I said, in a handicap. He's got his little handicap placard up here. He claims to be a handicapped veteran. Go ahead and click it one more time. He claims to be a handicapped Vietnam veteran. We dug into his military record. He was in the Navy during the Vietnam era, but he never left the United States. He was a shopkeeper at Norfolk. Never left the United States. And he wrote so many letters complaining and threatening to sue and everything else that the Veterans Administration finally issued him a disabled veterans tag just to get him off their back. And so he throws it up there on the dash, just so he can park in handicap spots, just to be rear-ended by it. Now, unfortunately for him, Tennessee has a law that says if you have a handicap tag, you must put it on the back of your car. Well, the problem with this handicap tag is it's not registered. The VA did do that one right. They just gave him the tag. They never registered it. And if you run it, it actually goes back got stolen. So he knew if he put it on the back of his car, he could pull over for a stolen tag. And so he throws it up on the dash, and he puts his fake handicap placard thing up here so he can park the handicap. But we ended up writing him that $200 ticket anyway. Yeah, because he's no more disabled than I am. All right, each year 50,000 law enforcement officers are assaulted. So far this year, as of today, we've had 43 officers killed in the line of duty so far this year. We're about to set another record. We set a record for officer deaths every year for the last 3 years, and we're well on the way to doing it again this year. Not so much for the sovereigns, but just because it's getting more violent out there. You never know how people are going to react. The 2 officers that were killed, they were eating lunch. They were sitting in front of the window, and I'd say right after that, you'll not see an officer sitting in front of a window ever again. Just because you never know who's going to walk up outside and decide, I'm just going to kill an officer today and just shoot you while you're eating lunch. So our assaults are going up, the deaths of officers are going up due to violence, and the sovereign citizen movement is becoming more and more involved in all that. And I have a video here I'll show you of just how quickly a sovereign citizen encounter off a traffic stop can go into the violent mode. Okay, go again. These 2 individuals are married. They're out of California, and they started a sovereign citizen group. And part of their thing was, of course, the officers were over there, doing traffic stops on them all the time because they didn't even have tags on their car. They didn't bother putting a fake one on. They just didn't have one at all. And they were doing traffic stops on them all the time and telling them, hey, you need to get a tag on this car or register or whatever. And they were writing them tickets. Well, he comes up with a brilliant idea, him and his group. We're going to kidnap an officer off the street after a vehicle stop. We're going to overpower him, take him and arrest him into our kangaroo court, take him to our court that night, hold a trial, find him guilty, and then execute him on camera.
Oh my.
Just so we can send that message out there that we are not to be messed with. Okay, go ahead again. Unfortunately for them, one of their members thought that was maybe getting a little extreme for him, and he reports it to the FBI. The FBI sends in an undercover who infiltrates him and attends like 30 meetings. And he records somewhere in this article here, 4-month undercover operation, 30 meetings, and hundreds of taped hours of the rhetoric of what they were going to do and how they were going to do this. If you want to look up this news story, it's copyrighted 2013 by the Associated Press and by Ken Ritter. He's the author of this. And what happened when they found out, the FBI agent went in there and found out what their plan was. Well, the day they were going to do it, they told everybody, put your cell phone down. We want everybody's cell phones over here. We're going to do this plan. Well, the FBI agent managed to send out a text. Hey, look, they're doing this, and all the surveillance guys came in. And when they actually tried to get an officer to stop them, they did a takedown and arrested them all. Now, the gentleman that you saw there, he is a 6-time convicted felon and a child sex offender out of California. And she is a sex offender and also a multiple charges ranging on her. But they were the leader of this group. And they literally said that that's what they were going to do. They were going to hold court, kidnap an officer, hold court, and then execute him for violation of their civil rights. Okay. This is Terry Lee Davidson. He used to live at 2915 Record Street, which is right here in Knoxville. He became a sovereign citizen. He's a 2-time convicted felon. Had 3 guns inside his house when we did the eviction with the SWAT team on him because he was known to be ultra-violent. I did the security survey on him, went around and talked to all the neighbors, and all the neighbors were terrified. They said, that man is crazy. He carries a gun everywhere he goes. He'll tell you he's a convicted felon, dare the government to come get him, and he would just terrorize the neighborhood. And so when we found out he was a sovereign and he hadn't made his house payment, the bank decided to foreclose on him. Well, he's the one that went 18 months not making a house payment. Because every time he got a foreclosure notice, he went and threatened the bank manager. Said, if you send me to foreclosure, I'll kill you. And had this bank manager scared to death. And he let it go for 18 months until the home office goes, hey, what's the deal with this? You need to foreclose on this guy. And that's when he finally, okay, and he called us, and that's how we got involved. Go ahead again. All right, so we ended up doing the he found the bloody fingerprint on his letter he sent to the sheriff stating that he was a sovereign. He did all this paperwork through Knox County Civil Courts, and he tried to say that he was a sovereign and we couldn't enter his property without his permission because he was the captain of his ship. And he claimed that his entire property was a ship on the sea, and that if we came onto his property, he would treat us as pirates boarding his vessels. And that he would have the right to repel boarders, as he put it, with deadly force. This was the, matter of fact, I got the sign here on the table. This was the sign he had on his gate to his property, the old property gate. And he used blue painter's tape to cover up the numbers on his mailbox, because he claimed that if he covers them up with blue painter's tape, which is the color of the Admiralty, which he's claiming Admiralty law, that if I cover up the numbers on my house, that it is no longer U.S. property. It is a ship. And the blue color of the tape is his idea of Admiralty law. So now his mailbox is a, I guess, seaborne mailbox, so his mail just happens to magically show up. I have to go ahead and get it again. These were the signs in his yard. This one was a little concerning. You know, trespassers, no trespassing, violators will be shot, survivors will be shot again. And his neighbors were very adamant that he's threatened multiple neighbors with gunshots. So, and I have all those signs up here on this table. We confiscated the first court case. And these signs were all around his property, all the way around the fence. Go ahead. They have a group called U.S. Constitutional Rangers, and these are their idea of law enforcement for them. They will actually try and come to your house and arrest you for their violation of law. If you write them a ticket, they'll try and come and try and arrest you at your home. They tried to do this in Texas once, and two of them went to this officer's house while he was off duty, knocked on his door and told him he was under arrest when he came to the door. And they had weapons on their hips and fake badges and everything else. They said, "You got to come with us, you're under arrest." He goes, "No, I don't think so." And they started pulling their guns and goes, "Well, we'll take you by force," and didn't wind up real good for you to kill both of them on the porch. Since then, they've not tried to do that anymore. They've kind of, they're just relying on paper terrorism now. But they will send out these constitutional rangers to serve you with those lawsuits and stuff like that. They have their own common law courts. They will carry these fake badges I'm getting ready to show you. Go ahead again, please. This one, it's kind of hard to see, but it says United States Special Agent. There's no such thing as a United States Special Agent. Now, we have FBI Special Agents, we have ATF Special Agents, but there's no such thing as a U.S. Special Agent that covers everything. That's totally right out of the internet. You can buy it, it's a novelty item. You can buy it off the internet. Any of you guys concealed handgun carry permit holders? All right. Do you carry a badge that says concealed handgun carry permit? No, because it doesn't mean anything. Again, buy it off the internet. All these badges we've taken off people here in Knoxville that have claimed to be constitutional rangers. And what they'll do is they put these badges in their wallets, and they fool a lot of just civilian people. They'll put it in a wallet. They'll get their car all decorated up, look like an unmarked police car. They'll put lights in it and everything else. They'll pull people over and then walk up and flash these badges real quick. And most people go, "Oh, he's got a badge, he's got lights in his car, he must be an officer," and they don't know that they're being stopped by one of these idiots. That means absolutely nothing. And we've had a couple that come around Knoxville, and as soon as they try and, they usually try and pull over a legitimate officer, and then he ends up wearing that officer's cuffs on the way to jail, and the car gets impounded. So they don't hang around Knoxville too awful much. Some of the smaller counties will see them out there. Anderson County, Loudoun County, stuff like that. This is one of the cars. They have it all decorated up. They actually have lights in it. And what they'll do is they'll go to our surplus sales and buy an old Crown Vic. They'll take it home, put a new paint job on it, put some decals on it. You can go to Gall's magazine and order lights and all kinds of undercover stuff to put in your car right out of the internet, right out of the catalog, and they'll mail it to you, and then you hook it up yourself, and it'll look just like a police car. And you don't know until you pull them over. But anytime they activate their lights, if they are not a legitimate police officer, if they activate their lights and they're blue or red, that's impersonating a police officer. It's a felony. You can put them in jail and seize their car. I apologize for the picture on this one. We tried to blow it up so you can see it, but this is a guy that he was arrested in Alcoa, Tennessee. He claimed to be a diplomatic agent of a sovereign citizen nation. And what he was doing when we came in contact with him, he was parked in his truck, had a shotgun laying in the dashboard, and a pistol. And he was parked in front of an Army recruiting station and threatening people that were going in to join the Army. And of course the recruiters go, we can't have this, so they call the Alcoa Police Department. They respond out there and pull this guy out. And they ask him for his license, and he hands him this diplomatic card. He goes, I'm a diplomatic agent for the sovereign citizen nation of Illinois, or Indiana, I'm sorry. And he goes, I'm diplomatic immunity, you can't touch me. And the officer goes, nah, I don't think that flies. And he hooks him up. So he puts him in the back of his car, and he starts searching the car, and he finds the pistol. Well, it turns out this guy's a 2-time convicted felon, which is illegal for him to have a pistol. And he's, the pistol's also stolen in a burglary. So he ended up going to jail for that one. But it was just, just some of the stuff we find here around an option. Passports. They'll try and hand you this, a world passport or an international passport. There are no such things. You buy these off the internet, they're a total gimmick, okay? If a legitimate passport, if you're from the United States, it says United States passport. If you're from England, it says Great Britain passport. Germany, German passport. Or United whatever, Germany. There's no such thing as a citizen of the world, and there's no such thing as an international citizen, okay? That's all garbage. So if they hand you one, try and hand you this to say that's a legitimate ID, you can't even take the word of what name is in it. You buy these off the internet, you make up your name, you send them a picture of you, a digital picture, and you can say your name is Donald Duck. They'll put your name, your picture on there, and say your name is Donald Duck, and you were born in 1947 at Disney World. And that's what they'll put on there, that's what you want. It's a total gimmick. It's, it's meant just for entertainment value. There's nothing legitimate about it. All right, the attempt to distract officers, and this is the video that we'll show. These officers had never seen a sovereign citizen before, and this father and son team were actually traveling around teaching people how to be sovereigns. And they handed this officer a whole stack of paperwork, saying, I don't need to have a legitimate tag on my car, and I don't need to have a license, and here's why. And the officer's literally standing there, you'll see in the video, he's standing there looking at all this paperwork, trying to make sense of it, when the son jumps out with an AK-47 and shoots both officers in less than 7 seconds. Kills them both. And while he's standing there with a handful of paperwork trying to figure out what's going on. So they'll try and distract you, and get you, get the argument going, so you'll lose track of what the other guy's doing. And it's just a total distraction technique. They might try displaying badges. They might attempt to get you mad. I mean, that's what we tell everybody. That's why they want to argue with you. They want to argue every little point. They want to argue about your legitimacy and everything else, because they're trying to get you upset to where you'll either do something stupid that they can sue you for, or you'll just get tired and frustrated dealing with them and tell them to go away and just send them on their merry way. Okay? Concealing weapons, fake IDs we already talked about, asserting laws that don't require them to have necessary documentation. Again, they'll try to make up stuff. They'll tell you that you're detaining me from this traffic stop, and every second you detain me is a violation of my civil rights, and I will sue you for $1 million for every minute that you hold me illegally. And they'll try and intimidate you into letting them go. Just kind of got to be confident in what you're doing. You got to know the law. You're a police officer, you should know what the law is. So if you know what the law is and you're confident in your job, they can spot all the stuff they want. They can threaten to sue you in federal court. I just tell them, good luck with that. Get in line. You got 9 ahead of you, and they end up going to jail anyway. It gets all sorted out in court later on anyway. Okay, go ahead. They might exercise their right to remain silent. There's just one guy, traffic stop. He had his windows up, doors were locked, and he just sat there with his hands on the steering wheel and just looked straight ahead. He would not even communicate with you. You're banging on the window, trying to get him to yell, hey, roll down, show me your license. Just look straight ahead. He wouldn't even acknowledge it. So what do you do? You can't tow people in a car. I wish we could take them straight to the impound and put them in the car, right? No, I can't do that. That's illegal. Most officers go, hey, I'm going to call my backup partner. Great. Now there's 2 of you standing outside the car banging on the window. Now what do you do? Bust out the window. That's the second thing. Bust out the window and drag him out of that car. Okay, for what? He's got a busted tail light, bad tag on the car. It's a citable offense. Can you really use that kind of use of force against him?
No.
No. Not unless you want to get sued. But, you, knowing the law, all right, you made a legitimate traffic stop. You had probable cause, tail light out, speeding, whatever. Your probable cause, right? You walk up to the car, he won't acknowledge you. What is the state of Tennessee, what does it require every driver to do if you're pulled over by a police officer? There's three things you have to do. You have to supply a driver's license upon request, proof of insurance, and proof of registration of the vehicle. If you don't have those three things, it's an arrestable offense. Failure to prove documentation of the motor vehicle, right? Failure to provide a driver's license. At that point, you tell them, hey sir, I didn't see your driver's license. You give them 3 warnings, 3 strikes and you're out, right? Sir, it's the first time I'm going to ask, I didn't see your driver's license. Second time I'm going to ask, I didn't see your driver's license. This is the third and last time I'm going to tell you, I need to see your driver's license.
Now you can take it.
If he ignores you, sir, you are now under arrest for failure to provide documentation of a traffic stop. I need you to step out of the car so I can arrest you without using force.
Wow.
If he doesn't get out of the car then, now he's resisting arrest. Now I can break out the window and drag him out again. Right? You just got to follow the steps and follow the law.
Follow along.
Absolutely. It's all in documentation. Did I give him every chance in the world? Did I explain to him what laws he was breaking? Did I tell him he was under arrest? Did I tell him if he resists that I'll have to use the force necessary to effect the arrest? I am covered 7 ways to Sunday. I did everything by the book, by the law, and it only took me, what, 45 seconds to explain that to you? I'm covered. I'm videotaping it, so I don't even testify in court anymore. I just plug in my videotape. All right, here's what I did, Your Honor. Right down the line. And the judge goes, okay, there's your probable cause. You told him. He wouldn't give it to you. You told him again. You told me he was under arrest. He resisted by not allowing you to arrest him. You knocked out his window and you took him to jail. Case closed. You're done. So, as long as you do what's lawful and use the minimum force necessary to effect the arrest, all right? I couldn't get at him because he had the doors and windows up. I had to break out the window. Minimum force. You know, he wouldn't get out of the car. Well, I had to drag him out. You know, I didn't punch him. I didn't tase him. I didn't mace him or anything else. All right, I reached in, did an arm bar around him, and pulled him out of the window. You know, put him on his belly, handcuffed him. You know, if he wants to fight at that point, then you got to use the force necessary at that point. All right, but you use the minimum force necessary to effect the arrest. You're covered every which way you can do. Okay. This lady claims to be a licensed driver in the Kingdom of Heaven. She's an embassy holder of the Kingdom of Heaven. And I think she's lying about her weight, but we'll go with that. But this is a fake ID that she handed one of our officers on patrol and claimed that she was an embassy of the Kingdom of Heaven Church, and that she's out of Oregon, and that this is a legitimate driver's license. But yeah, that's kind of what you're going forward to. Of course, the driver's license number is totally, you know, just made up.
Even has a wild card.
Oh yeah, they do all kinds of good stuff. Yes. All right, you go ahead again, sir. They like to use these little business cards. They'll hand you, if you go up and talk to them, they'll just slide this little business card out the door that says, you know, hey, I want my lawyer. You know, it's written on the card, I want my lawyer, and this is what it's on the back. I invoke my 4th Amendment rights. What's your 4th Amendment right? You are protected from unlawful search and seizure. Your body and property. That's your 4th Amendment right. What's your 5th Amendment right?
It remains silent.
Yeah. I don't have to talk to you if I don't want to. So he says, I'm invoking my 4th and 5th Amendment rights. I choose not to consent to any search, and I don't want to talk to you as an officer. All right? Can I tell him, no, you have to? No. If he wants to say, I'm invoking my 5th Amendment right, that's why we have guarantee, right? We explain it to him. You don't have to talk to me if you don't want to. You're still going to jail. And I'll put you in jail as John Doe because you don't want to tell me who you are, and you'll stay in my jail until we identify you through fingerprints, which could take a week or 2. But if you want to tell me your name, your legitimate name, and your date of birth, then things will go a little faster and you can probably make mine quicker. But if you hand me that little card, I got a whole stack of them. Then great, you go in jail as John Doe until you figure out who you are. It can take a week or 2. Yes?
I see something on the card that I don't think you addressed as
Yeah.
far as
a part of their scheme. And I've heard this before, you mentioned this, they like to use the phrase without prejudice. Could you explain what that means?
Yeah, without prejudice means you can't make me follow your laws, because following your laws is prejudice. So without prejudice means they are not subject to our laws.
Wow.
And if I force you to follow my laws, then I am prejudiced against you. So they are saying, I am invoking my Fourth and Fifth Amendment right without prejudice, which means I am not prejudiced against you as an individual. I am invoking my rights because you are being prejudiced against me for making me follow your laws. Is basically their idea. Yes? Okay. Yeah.
I got it.
That's it. Yeah, good. This is a Kingdom of Heaven vehicle registration card. Again, totally fake. They just kind of make it up and print it on the computer, and they'll put a some little time stamp on it. They can try and make it look official. Okay. This is their Social Security card. You know how everybody else's Social Security card is that little blue and white thing that's got the red ones on it? Yeah, this is theirs. They claim that a Social Security number is a contract with the government, and that if you acknowledge that it's a Social Security number, that you are now a subject of the United States. But if you call it a Social Security Act and application account number, which is a straw man account, and you put it on this form, that you can claim the secret government money in your straw man account, but you're still not a U.S. citizen. So it's all in paperwork, and I know. All right, they'll show their license, and I love messing with these people. If they get a legitimate Tennessee driver's license, because they're tired of going to jail every time we pull them over, because we don't play their game. You don't have a legitimate license, off to jail you go. And you get to go talk to a judge who doesn't like sovereign citizens, especially when you tell him he's illegitimate in his own court. It usually doesn't apply to him. So a lot of them are getting a real legitimate Tennessee driver's license. Now the problem with that is, if they acknowledge that the picture on their driver's license is actually them, and they actually sign, they've entered a contract with the state of Tennessee, which means they can no longer be a sovereign citizen. So when you get one like that, and what they'll usually do on their license, they'll print their name in black letters and put UCC code 1308 signed under duress. In other words, I'm not acknowledging it, but it's there. And then if you ask them, hey, is this your picture on your driver's license? And they will say, no, that's a non-breathing extraterrestrial. Because if they admit that that's their picture, they've entered into the contract of the United States. So they will tell you, no, that's not me, that is a facsimile of a representative that might be me in a third world picture somewhere. It's a digital enhancement of my outer identity, or they come up with some garbage. But it's really entertaining when you try and get them to admit that that's their Tennessee driver's license. Social Security number, again, we'll talk about invasion of privacy. If you say, hey, what's your Social Security number? I don't have a Social Security number, I have a worker's ID number. Again, if they admit they have a Social Security number, they've entered the contract, and so now they're a citizen. Okay? They'll sign the ticket and put these little punctuations up. They'll use that @ sign, like in your email address. They'll use that to symbolize that that is their true name and is licensed and copyrighted. So if you make them sign their name the way they're supposed to, they'll put the little @ sign on it to tell you that you have violated the copyright laws. And they'll try to sue you in civil court for copyright violations. They'll write their name in all capital letters, and we'll show you some of that. They might put terms like Sir Julius on it, which is Latin for on my own property. In other words, I'm my own citizen. I don't belong to the United States, so I'm a Sir Julius, where that means I'm on property. They might put SPC, secured party creditor. Just another way of saying I am my own person, I am not subject to your laws. And they'll sign your ticket and all the goodness. They put all that garbage in there. They'll put their brackets around the zip code and their address. If you write their address on, if they have a legitimate license, if you put their zip code on there, they'll put brackets around it on your ticket. They'll literally draw it on your ticket for you. And they'll tell you that the zip code is the way the government tracks you. And because it's a government number, I am not going to acknowledge that that is a true government number. So I'll put the brackets around it saying I don't agree with this. And then they'll put their garbage at the bottom of the ticket. Again, the employee ID number, we talked about Social Security number. Now, where do they get their sovereign citizen theory? Under House Joint Resolution 192, back in 1933, the government government started going off what's called the gold standard. Now, Nixon did it back in the 70s, but before that, we went off the gold standard in 1933 under the Roosevelt presidency. Because what was happening in 1933? What was happening in the United States?
The Depression.
The Depression, absolutely. So back in the old days, back then, we could not borrow more money as a country than we had in gold reserves. So Fort Knox, whatever gold we had in Fort Knox, that was the maximum amount we could borrow as a country. Well, we were trying to come out of the Depression. That's when Social Security started. That's also when welfare started. You know, trying to get people back on their feet. The big work projects, the Hoover Dam, all that stuff took money. And we needed more money than we had in gold reserves, so there was House Joint Resolution. They took us off the gold standard for that period of time and borrowed more money. That's when we started seeing our national deficit, you know, like the $20 trillion we got now. So the theory was, as far as sovereigns, that's also the year they started issuing Social Security numbers, and that's also the year they started requiring birth certificates. So the sovereign citizen theory is that we, as citizens, are now collateral for those loans. You know, we have $20 trillion out there. So if the countries, which I think Japan and China own like $5 trillion worth of our national debt, you know, we have to pay them interest on this. If they ever call into marker, sovereign citizens believe that whoever has a Social Security number and a birth certificate, the United States government is going to do a random drawing of Social Security numbers to force our citizens to go over to those countries and work as slave labor until the debt is paid off. So we are the collateral for these you know, national deficits. That's why they believe if I claim I'm not a U.S. citizen, I'm a sovereign, the Social Security number is invalid, then I cannot be held as collateral for these national debts. That's where all this kind of came from. And then the UCC code, the Uniform Commercial Code, that's where they say I don't have to have a tag on my car, I don't have to have a license, because I am not traveling for commercial licenses. Okay. All right, they believe, yeah, we were talking about the gold standard. Okay, I'm sorry, I kind of skipped ahead a little bit there. Again, stickers. I've got one of those up here on the table too. Your swag. Anybody know what swag is? Anybody ever get free stuff? You go to a conference and they give you free stuff in the bag? That's swag. It's free stuff. So they're claiming that because you're a U.S. citizen, you're swag for the federal government because they can use you to barter and trade with as individuals. They can send you to another country. Okay, go ahead. Yes, yeah, we're almost done with this and then we'll go. All right, again, these are patrol officer tactics, but it also applies to you guys. All right, maintain your professional bearing. Always be aware of your safety, your personal safety when you're out here, especially if you're dealing with one of them. Make every effort to identify the suspect as much as you can. Be cognizant of any search procedures that you might do. Now, you guys won't be doing that, but you might be called as a witness if we have to have an officer come to you. So take good notes. Prepare notes, videos, and witness for court, because it will go to court. If you make an arrest for a sovereign, or you're a witness to an arrest, you can count on it going to court. They want that day. Good. Be confident in the law. Okay, back each other up. Again, you guys, if you get confronted, call us. We're there to back you up. Okay, you're doing some great service out here checking on people, and it's an underappreciated unit. I'll tell you, I appreciate you guys out here checking on people, because you don't realize how many calls it takes out of patrol to where we would have to go out and check on them. You guys take that load off of our patrol guys so they can actually go out and answer the calls. So you are an underappreciated unit as far as I'm concerned. Document everything in detail. Take plenty of pictures. Everybody's got a cell phone with a camera on it now. Take as many pictures as you can, and don't worry about search warrants. We'll take care of that as long. All right. I'm going to go over this the shooting on the video, but this just kind of explains what happened. It's the two sovereign citizens that killed two officers during a traffic stop, and I'll show you the video after the break. Okay. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. This was the aftermath of the shootout. 260 rounds of ammunition fired in a Walmart parking lot at 2:30 in the afternoon in a little town, West Memphis, Arkansas. They had already murdered two police officers. They went into this mall, did a shootout. They fired 260 rounds from an AK-47. They had two of them. And police officers ended up returning fire and killing them both. But it was amazing nobody else was killed. 3 other officers were wounded during this exchange, and I'll explain it better on video. Okay. Okay, this is my email address. If you guys have any questions, it comes to my phone. This is my office.